This is Sean, and Sean is a goalkeeper. And ever since he was a kid, he's always wanted to be one of the best keepers ever. So to help him live his dream, we were going to be turning him from this into this.
That is absolutely insane.
The only challenge is that we're going to have just 7 days to transform him from an amateur keeper into the Sunday League Manuel Neuer.
There's no way. So for those of you that don't know, Sean has been my friend for nearly 2 years now. And I honestly think he's one of the best amateur keepers I've ever met. Now we just have to wait for him to show up. Sean is always just a little bit late, by the way.
So after showing up just 10 minutes late, it was finally time to start our keeper journey. And to see just how much Sean improves over the next 7 days, we're going to be taking 50 shots against him on day 1 and repeating the test on day 7 after a full week of training. And first up, we had 5 penalties.
You ready? Let's start it off right. Oh, save. Sui.
Sean's week didn't exactly get off to the best start though, with him saving just 1 out of 5 penalties. Sean's next test was all about reflexes, where he had to face up against 15 one-on-ones.
How did I miss it?
And early on, he was doing a pretty good job at keeping our attempts out.
Save, man. Sean, you're making your life on day 7 pretty hard right now.
But eventually, we started to break him down.
Mo Salah finish, Briv.
And things only went from bad to worse for Sean.
Oh, he nearly sent me to the shops there.
Unexpected item in bagging area.
Clearly this side is a weakness.
Oh, that's just filthy. Put an age restriction on this video.
So with us taking our final attempt around Sean, he finished the one-on-one test with a score of 6 saves out of 15.
Okay, so next up we have 15 short range shots, and this is where I'm expecting Sean to pull off some crazy saves. You ready, Sean?
I'll go for it.
Shot number 1. CR7 on the back. It's gonna be CR7-esque finish.
Have it.
So while our first attempts from short range didn't take things easy on Sean, eventually he started to pull off some saves.
That's just ridiculous.
I don't mind it.
But with our last 2 attempts finding the back of the net, Sean finished the short range test with a save rate of 62%.
Okay, that's the short range shots wrapped. Let's get into some long range ones.
But our first long range attempts didn't give Sean much chance at all.
Oh, that's a screamer.
So with Sean struggling to keep out our long range attempts, things weren't looking too good. And he was definitely finding it tough to get any consistency on day 1.
Okay, we got the last 3 shots of the day. Let's see if we can make Sean force a save.
So while Sean managed to hold a couple of routine saves, day 1 ended with lots of room for improvement.
That's day 1 done, man.
The long ones could use a bit of work.
We got the whole week. We got the whole week, man.
So with Sean's day 1 stats completed, we had to hope the next week of training would be enough to turn him into the Sunday League Manuel Neuer when we repeat the test on day 7. So day 2 was reaction training day.
All right, Sean, 50 reaction shots today. How do you feel?
I've seen it being used and I'm pretty nervous about this.
So to kick off day 2, Sean got off to a pretty good start.
Oh, save.
But just a couple shots in, it was clear there was still a lot of work to do.
What's the hardest part about being a goalkeeper?
I'd say the mental side of the game is the hardest. You're on your own. On top of that, no one really understands your position.
You don't save those.
And if you make a mistake, there's no one there to bail you out.
After that, day 2 definitely got off to a slow start.
Too easy. It's too easy.
And it looked like there was still a lot to improve on if Sean was going to be ready by day 7.
One-on-ones are hard enough without a deflection.
But after a couple close calls,
it's not over the line! It's not totally over the line!
Sean really started to get the hang of things.
Oh, save. Oh, that's a save.
With our last couple shots of the day, Sean's reactions really started to look sharper.
Oh, what a save, man. So Sean has definitely improved from this side already from day 1. Last shot of the day. I want to make day 2 tough for Sean. And that's day 2 done.
So even though Sean made some good improvements on day 2, there was still a lot of work to do if he was going to become the Sunday League Neuer by day 7.
Is it scary being a goalkeeper?
I don't find it scary. I think if you are scared doing it, you're probably more likely to get hurt. You have to commit, you have to be brave. I think mentally it's scary. It's nice too, you get your own little sort of group in football. I like that.
Okay, so today is one-on-one day. We've got 50 one-on-ones and we are not going to be taking it easy on Sean.
And with Sean saving just 6 out of 15 one-on-ones on day 1, this was one of his biggest areas to improve on before day 7. And day 3 got off to a bit of a mixed start for Sean.
We're going to make him work today. Oh, save, man.
I had the Cal the Dragon quote ready.
If you say that to my face, mate, you'll get a knuckle sandwich.
We got to get him ready for day 7.
The hardest part about one-on-ones is just the lack of reaction time. You really are dealing with half a second, and if a striker sends you the wrong way, you end up looking stupid. But there's really nothing you can do.
It's not going to be easy today.
But despite the stakes for day 7, Sean wasn't feeling the pressure.
How are you handling the pressure, man?
This week, rough. Today, easy.
And Sean's positioning was causing me to make a lot of forced errors on day 3.
So we're about halfway through already and I can already see a massive improvement from Sean. Oh, that's quality, man. Pick that one out.
Today has not been easy.
Even though Sean was doing really well, there was still room for improvement.
We love it, we love it.
It's like Manuel Neuer with the broken leg.
Okay, so we're down to the last set of one-on-ones for today and this is where Sean really struggled on day 1.
Clearly this side is a weakness.
But it seemed like this angle still held problems for Sean.
I just love a good trivela.
And after a couple early mistakes, Sean started to pull off some saves.
He is getting a lot better.
I think the key to a one-on-one is to force the striker into making the mistake. You gotta let him know he's there, you gotta close the angle down fast. There's a lot of moving parts, it's a very complicated thing, but once you get into it, it becomes kind of rhythmic.
I gotta say, this angle today, he has gotten really, really good at. Okay, so we're down to our last shot of the day, and I think it's fair to say we've seen a massive improvement from Sean since day 1.
So after dragging our final shot wide, Sean finished day 3 with some major improvements. But with our final test still to come, we'd have to wait and see if it all paid off.
How does it feel when you make a save that's going right in the corner?
I think the moment you get that touch and you know you've saved it, it's just pure joy.
I think this is going to be harder than it sounds, Sean. So today, Sean is going to be up against this thing.
And for those of you that don't know, this is a ball launcher, and it can take free kicks even more consistently than Lionel Messi.
How confident are you feeling today, man?
Today is lower on the confidence.
Let's do our best.
We always do.
Okay, Sean. Shot number 1. Save. That's a banger.
So day 4 saw Sean make some pretty crazy saves.
How is he doing that? No looker. So I think so far Sean is actually dealing with these short range shots really, really well. For the most part. You just don't save those ones. Last shot from here, Sean. Let's see what you got. Save.
But after switching angles, we discovered one of Sean's biggest weaknesses.
That's disgusting! Disgusting!
And even though it looked like Sean was slowly getting better, things only went from bad to worse.
I wasn't looking.
And as it turns out, making saves on the entire left side of the goal was just a major problem for Sean.
It's not looking good, Brev.
So if Sean was going to be ready for day 7, he needed to improve fast.
How are you getting to that?
But not everything was going to plan.
Alright, so this is Sean's final shot of the day. Let's see what he can produce. Alright, this is a big one, Sean.
So after really struggling on day 4, it was the first time this week I started to doubt if Sean was going to be ready to face his biggest goalkeeping task in just 3 days.
What's your favourite thing about being a goalkeeper?
I think it's definitely when a striker hits like a perfect strike and you just get a touch on it. You can see like the whole time the ball's travelling, they just think, I've done it, and then you ruin it all for them.
So today is long shots day and we've still got a lot to improve on for day 7. So we're really going to be pushing Sean to the limits today.
So seeing as this was the second last training day before day 7, we needed to get Sean in the perfect position for the final 50 shots. But after struggling to save anything on the left side of the goal all week, we really needed to see some major improvements from him today.
We're getting closer to day 7 every day, Sean, so let's make it really count today.
Let's go.
And day 5 started off with Sean making some pretty routine saves, until we really started to test him.
Yes! Come on, Sean.
And he was definitely making moves in the right direction.
Oh! Did you get a touch on that?
I did.
But Sean was showing signs that his lifelong goal still might just be a dream after all. Even after all his mistakes though, he was determined to not be beaten.
Oh yes! Come on, Sean. That's what we want.
And started to pull off some of his best saves of the week.
Oh man, that is absolutely insane. Okay, we're on to long shots from down the middle now, and this is where I really think we're going to test Sean in that left corner. How are you feeling about these ones?
I'm nervous for this one, but we'll give it a go.
But Sean's redemption arc didn't end there, with him making sure to give everything to be ready for day 7.
Oh my god! There's no way. What the hell?
Nerves gone.
How did he get to that?
I'm very excited to see the GoPro angle.
I was so sure that was going right into the top left. I honestly do not even know how he got to that save.
Now that Sean's confidence was growing, he started to prove why he could still be the Sunday League Neuer.
This is what we want to see.
And even with the help of the woodwork, Sean's new improvements were definitely making it tough to score.
This left side today is so much better than day 1.
So with Sean making it really tough to find a way past him, things were starting to look hopeful for day 7.
Okay, we're on to the last long shot position of the day, and this is one of the last chances we have to test Sean before day 7. Oh, that was a knuckleball. He's got this. Oh, what a catch. He's actually so much better today than I've ever seen him. Last 3 of the day, Sean.
With our final shots of the day though, Sean showed that his improvement even in one day was crazy.
He had it covered, don't worry.
But as always, not everything was perfect.
We have to get one at some point.
Now with just one day left before our final challenge, we had to hope that Sean's improvement wasn't just temporary. So day 6 meant we were just one day away from our final goalkeeping challenge. And with all of Sean's progress over the past week, everything was looking positive for day 7. But with one training day still to go, we had to make sure Sean had every advantage possible going into the final 50 shots.
Final training day, Sean.
No goals.
No goals, let's see.
And day 6 was penalty training day for Sean.
Yes, come on, Sean. Gonna hit the GoPro. I mean, it was close enough.
He looked that way like 3 times. I was like, he surely can't go that way.
And having saved just 1 out of 5 penalties on day 1, Sean still had a lot to improve on.
Oh! 3 penalties down, Sean. Let's get a few more saves.
But with less than a day to go, everything was still less than ideal.
It's a great save. So I'm not really expecting Sean to save a whole lot of penalties, but if we can see any improvement, then I'll be really happy.
With just 1 day until his biggest goalkeeping challenge though, penalties were still causing some big problems for Sean.
It hasn't gone well so far, but I do think I'm starting to read it a bit better.
Halfway there, Sean. Let's see what you got.
It's only up.
It can't go any worse. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
So even if Sean wasn't always reaching our shots, he definitely started reading them better.
Come on, Sean. Last 3 penalties before day 7, Sean.
3 saves.
I want you to get to one of these, Sean.
So do I.
Last penalty. Come on, Sean.
So with one last penalty,
Great save.
day 6 came to an end, and so too did our training journey with Sean. Now though, we had to hope that all the work we put in over the past week was enough for day 7. So this was finally it. And with Sean showing up early for once, it was time to see if he had what it took to become the Sunday League Neuer.
We've trained all week for this, Sean. Let's see what you got.
Let's go.
And just like day 1, Sean's first test was to face up against 5 penalties.
Oh, save, man.
Try it.
Try it. Oh, what a save.
With our last attempt just out of reach for Sean, he ended the penalty test with an improvement of 2 over day 1.
15 one-on-ones, Sean. Score to beat is 6, you got this.
But things didn't get off to a great start.
We're just getting warmed up.
And he ended up conceding 3 of our first 5 attempts. But eventually Sean started to show us what all the training was for.
Save again.
And our last one-on-ones of the week proved to challenge Sean even more from his weak side. With 3 last attempts, the chance to improve his score from day 1 wasn't looking good.
We need a big save from Sean on this last one.
And having conceded 6 goals from his first 14 attempts, Sean needed to save this final one-on-one to even draw level with day 1. After trying to nutmeg Sean on our last attempt though, he saved it. So with Sean only just managing to level his one-on-one record with day 1, he'd need a big performance on the shooting tests if he was still to become the Sunday League Neuer.
Last 30 shots of the week, Sean. Let's step it up a notch.
So while our first short-range efforts were no problem for Sean,
Oh, save.
he started to show us just how much he improved.
You're on it today, man.
My father would kick me out. Edit that actually. If there's any women watching, I don't live with my parents.
Sean was proving impossible to beat from short range though.
What a save. That's what the training was for.
Let him cook.
Day 1, they would have gone in.
I can see it, I feel it. He's cooking.
I gotta get 1.
And even with just 2 attempts left, we still hadn't beaten him.
Gotta pull out the David Beckham for the last shot, Sean. You ain't getting this one.
Beckham could raise the roof here with a goal.
What am I gonna have to do to score?
Yeah, Sean's improvement was so crazy, he walked away with a 100% save rate from short range.
Last 15 of the week, Sean. 0 goals so far. Let's try and keep it up.
So after figuring out Sean's weakness earlier in the week, we decided to really test him in the left corner to try and find any way to beat him on day 7.
I'm not beating him today.
And even despite Sean's best efforts so far,
I just can't believe it.
he was still to pull off his best save of the week.
Oh my days, man. I'm not getting 1 today. I am not getting 1.
And even though there were still shades of the old Sean in there, he was looking more like the Sunday League Neuer with every shot we took.
We got 1 shot left today, and this man is impossible to beat. This man is the Sunday League Manuel Neuer. Great week, man.
Thank you, man.
So with Sean's near perfect performance on day 7, it was only fair that he earned the title as the Sunday League Manuel Neuer.
Do you think I could become the Sunday League Messi, Sean?
Sure, buddy.